And let's see if that is actually going through.
Oh, I saw the announcement on Discord. Maybe something's
Okay,
happening.
are we live? Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we are.
Very nice.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Apologies for all of us being like cramped up together in a corner, but Zoom's native live streaming was not cooperating with me, so I had to create like an ad hoc solution here. Um, I've got a lot of notifications popping up that this stream is happening now. Yeah. But welcome to our sort of post-mortem live chat. Not everybody's going to be here, but like it would be difficult to find a time that works for everybody in all the time zones here. So I just kind of went with where I have. You can see yes, you can see the taskbar. It's fine. People see my taskbar all the time. So, we're talking about the 2025 YouTube Conlang Relay, and some things happened here. Okay, Zoom says, okay, I don't know, admit all. We got Babalinga and Logan joining. We've got Biblaridian, Madeline James, Jake Penny, Z-Way, and Eternal as well. And if the meeting gets much bigger, it's going to be a little unwieldy, but we can handle that. Okay, and my chat is showing up on the screen, so that's good. Okay, so the first thing, and maybe I should switch to I don't have a way to show just the Zoom right now, but I will say at the beginning, this was the actual relay itself ran a lot smoother because I was like on people about actually getting their torches finished. But there were still problems, and once again, as relay master, I do take responsibility for all problems. Hey, Schwar is in the chat. Schwar, go join the thing. Join the Zoom, please. Okay, sure. Yeah. But yeah, this was a fun relay. It took. What happened was one thing I didn't mention in my like how to run a relay thing, because it hadn't happened yet when I recorded, number one. And number two, like I thought about recording an addendum. I kind of ran out of time, and it's not really relevant to like running an everyday relay. Was we had several people like extending out the deadline, right? And I think next time I will actually set a video deadline at the outset. It has been suggested to me to have have people have their videos ready when they're done with their torch, but that is unrealistic because, yeah, I mean, I could do that maybe if at a stretch. maybe Madeline could do that because you're just direct to camera, right? Um,
Yeah, I had it
but
done within 24 hours after the relay was done. Mine don't take long to do.
yeah, but like Z-Way is not going to animate a whole thing and write music in in during the time that they're going to be playing.
Yeah, Madeline, you had like 24 hours, and I was like, I cannot fathom that happening.
It's low production
Yeah,
value over here.
Yeah, I honestly, I really appreciate that. That would make my life
it's
so much
it's
easier.
it's always about that's the thing is everybody has different production timelines. Um, Madeline could do it quickly. Bib could probably do it quickly because you just do a screen record, and Jake would probably do it quickly. But not everybody could do it quickly. um, um, but at the same time, it did take too long, and I'm probably going to like set a deadline at the start. That's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after everybody's torches are done, and that should be reasonable. And then I'll have a mechanism. I'll say like, if it is not done and you can't get it done before release time, which I'll like time to like after that video deadline, then I will just make another video and present your torch, which you don't really want to do. Okay.
What one thing
Can I
that could
turn
work with
off
that
the
is
waiting room?
for people who
Yeah,
know
go
that they
ahead.
have a longer timeline for their videos, they can volunteer for an earlier slot in the relay because they're given the number of participants, that's a huge amount of extra time that
That
they
is a great
then
point.
have.
Yeah, yeah.
Truth,
That that
truth.
that is good. Like if we could have like people like Z-Way and Ren and anybody who's done like an animated sequence can try to be like at the beginning. We have Zinioff. Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Zinniop.
Zinioff. Yeah, I don't know.
We do not respect the digraph being flipped around.
Well, it's HP, but I thought I
That's what I'm
heard you
saying.
say Zinioff before, but it's okay.
Clearly, it's a pre-aspirated stop.
Up.
Well, I'm not very practiced at pre-aspirated stops. I don't speak Icelandic, so. Um, so let's actually talk about what happened in the relay. So and we're not necessarily going to go through this linearly. We can jump around a little bit, but like this is where it started, and a lot of people were surprised that this was the initial text after they saw it. It ended with I can jump to this. And we're going to talk about things that happened in between.
Just real quick, could you maybe share your screen or something in Zoom? Because there's about like a 15 to 30-second delay on the live stream, and it's a bit awkward if you're talking about one thing to us and we only see the slide from like half a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Let me actually. Is there a way I can? Yeah, if I share. I don't want the sharing settings. I want to actually share. Yeah, here we go. And then it does
There we
that.
go. Nice. Thanks.
Okay. And then I'm going to put you guys over here, which means I'm looking completely in the wrong way, but that's fine. I'll just put chat over in my prompter where it usually is, and then we'll be fine. Most people were surprised, just like last year. Yes, cat. And then I can turn off that source, and we just have this over here. Live OBS futzing. Very exciting. Why is there
I see Zinniup has discovered the pen tool.
Yeah. I need to put you guys. Maybe I'll just do a grid and put you guys up here. That should keep you out of the way for now. Okay, so let me know if anybody's in the waiting room, because I don't know how to turn off the waiting room. Okay, so where's the fun without the surprise? Yes, Aaron. By the way, you can join if you want, Aaron. So
I am here.
Oh, you're on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Think,
Hello.
you're on a different page.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The joys of using an unfamiliar program. Okay, so Kat says hi, Logan. So where did this happen? So let's actually jump back to the beginning and let's talk about. So we have mine. We have Ren's torch. Ren's torch does change a few things. I think Ren got confused by postpositions. So we don't. Yeah. Oh, you want to shrink. Yeah. And then I can put this over here. No, the thing is, the zoom thing is gigantic. And I can't. There. We can put chat down here. Okay. Lowercase glottal stop. I didn't know there was a lowercase of that letter. But anyway, so we go to Ren. There's a few things changed, but we still have spiders. We still have books. And actually Jonathan's is pretty faithful, right? Go to I migrate, then we start to get the eggs involved. And I'm not sure where that came from. Then we go.
The eggs are from mine, I believe. I don't know. I mean, you could say it's faithful, but I changed quite a few things. Some of them intentional, not all of them.
Okay, you do have some eggs. You do have eggs, yeah. So
Yeah.
Jonathan has eggs showing up, and then I might agree. Got eggs. By the way, the theme of Amaiguri's video is really great, right? It's okay to be bad at things, which is the spirit of a torch, of a relay here. Simulanger. So Simulanger is in here somewhere. Or are you here? Oh, Babel Ling was here. Simulanger is not here. Simulanger, for some reason, decided to change the genre of the text into an epistle.
Genre. Yeah.
Well, I mean, using genre in the technical sense is a type of writing. Yeah.
I like genre. Yeah. That was not sarcastic.
Yeah.
I need a tone indicator.
Wait, is that always what Zoe has looked like? I thought you were a bird.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question. This is my skin sona.
Yes. Can we? Someday I will learn how to use Zoom, or maybe not. Maybe I will find a better way to do these things. So maybe I'm just gonna make active speaker. That way, whoever starts talking, you will never see my face, but that's okay. Skin Sona, yes. Now, so this is interesting. It did add a lot to the text, which was kind of short to begin with, and that sort of carried through. We get that. So Bibluridian carried through sort of the epistle format, the letter format, and we go to and like, let's see. I don't know. Well, I mean, Bib, you're here. If you have any particular notes about like what happened with your end of the torch, then you can talk about that.
Not particularly. I feel like my step was one of the most boring. Just nothing really. I mean, I feel like I actually translated it pretty faithfully. I do realize now that there are some errors in my translation, but they didn't actually end up affecting anything because they were almost all to do with gender agreement. Because when I first started writing it up, I was planning on, because Takvamir has 3 genders, human, animate, and inanimate, and initially I was planning on anthropomorphizing the spiders to make them in the human class. But then I realized when after I'd already glossed everything, that the word for spider in Takvamir is just the animate form of the word that means weaver. So if we were doing everything in the human class, then it would no longer be about spiders. It would just be about human weavers. And then we'd have to ask, why are the human weavers laying eggs, and other questions like that I didn't want to get into.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think because of my lexicon actually saying spider, then my own derivation of spider never really really tripped people up. Just to be clear, like, spider and web are both from to cover in Dakuga, so they look similar, but I think Ren was able to deal with that just fine. Second world fantasy where humans lay eggs, yes. This can be like
I was also quite hesitant about the numbers, because we had a date in there, and I very strongly just considered loaning the name of the month and just doing like a phonetic loan, just for the sake of simplicity, because Takvamir has kind of a weird number system, and I felt bad about inflicting that on Madeline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, too late now, I guess.
Okay. Now people can see me with my not so great camera, but that's fine. I can't get the phone camera to work properly. Okay, so, and then Madeline, you should all be incubating eggs inside you. It's the gods once golden eyes, under the gold eyes of the supreme god. So Madeline's, yours was pretty faithful. So yeah. Madeline, did you have any particular difficulties with Bib's torch? Was it straightforward? It seems like you did really well.
I think I went over it like 3 or 4 times. Like I retranslated it a number of times because I was very unconfident in myself. So I think other than the numbers, which I will say they were very tricky, Viv, my year was horrendous, but that was very fun. Not that the rest of it wasn't, but I don't know. I think it just took a lot of time for me to get the principle of it, but like, because again, most of the concepts in it were new to me because I'm new to kind of everything. But once I understood how all like the different matrix things worked, I think it was not too bad. I think definitely once golden is the weird part. I was chatting with Bib about turning out weird, other than the year, of course, which I think I got, yeah, 4005th, which is I don't know what to tell you.
4005th year.
I think that's the only part that you got like distinctly wrong. Everything else is pretty much right on the money.
Thank you. It was an adventure.
Okay. All right. And then we move on to Babalingua. And Babalingua is here. Okay, so Babalingua, you interpreted this as like a memo more than like a letter, right?
I guess so. I'm not sure where the distinction begins and ends, but
I'm just looking at the header format. But let's see. Yeah. The goddess's non-golden eyes. Now, why is it non-golden?
I might have just messed that up. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I guess there's a fine line between once golden and non-golden.
Yeah, my language doesn't have a past tense. It's just this exists, or this is not currently the truth. So not golden and once golden are essentially identical in my language, so that would also do it.
Oh, okay.
In mine, they were golden. It was the god's golden eyes.
So far, it's
somehow
gone
in
from
it became once golden, and now they're not golden.
Yeah.
So they've gone.
Why?
The whole spectrum.
Why was it the god's golden eyes? What was the?
I think it was the sun god Ra originally.
Yeah,
that's Finalizing added, I believe.
Gidza is spoken in Egypt, in an alternate universe in Egypt. I know, and that was in the video. I think I may have actually got the wrong. I meant to grab the retranslation of this, but if we are curious, but yes, it was like under the eye of Ra or something, right?
The original line was under the golden eyes of Ra.
Okay, which you just made it a generic god to not have Ra in your world. That makes sense. Okay, well, let's back up. We'll talk about that in a minute. One thing I can see is that interesting, the added headers are sort of overtaking the original text gradually at this point.
George, just so you know, Daniel says he's waiting for you to let him in on Zoom.
Okay, Daniel. Hello. In fact, we will probably be talking to you in a minute. So, under the goddess's non-golden eyes, lay the egg inside him, and there's quite a lot of this stuff is like getting added in, which I think contributed a lot to the end product. Under the golden eyes of Ra, the idolatrous calf. By the way, this presentation is in the description of this live stream if you want to check that out. I probably will do a few corrections and update that link later because I think I need to get the correct version of some things. Now, Zidiop.
Yes.
Is here, and so, okay. So you, I remember. So you interpreted the spiders as like a type of worker, right?
So, I'd like to begin with the fact that the only thing I explicitly translated wrong was that I have eggs is stronger than silk instead of silk is stronger than eggs. But so I have in theory 4 different translations. The literal translation from Chun, the English free writing of that. Then I have the Persian translation, and then I have what you would get if you translated it directly into Proto-Indo-European without any semantic drift. So,
okay.
Looking at the literal translation, it's pretty clear to see that that makes sense with what was coming. So post hoc, I probably could have found that, but I did not have that information, so I went with this. Which is an instruction on how to harvest silk from the spiders of the Silk Sea.
Okay. Now, and Dan is here now, so we can go check out. We'll go to the K-pop. Unfortunately, I don't have the K-pop text. It might not fit on this slide if I did have it.
It certainly would not fit.
No, I don't think it would. Yep.
Now there are quite a few changes.
If you want it, but...
There are quite a few changes at this point, and I think, having watched through the videos, I actually had to go back and rewatch them because I was in a work meeting at the time these were premiering. But it looks like the particular way, Zinniop, that you presented your lexicon contributed to like massive changes, because there ended up being like things that Daniel could not reconstruct, right?
Yes. It is also worth mentioning that this one word pietki that means always, and is from the Proto-Indo-European root to spread out, that was not included in the lexicon. I forgot it.
Yeah. And this is getting into, we're starting to get into some of the more cursed languages. It's been a little bit controversial this year of having like a string of cursed languages, which we'll talk a little bit more about, because they do tend to have like an extra effect because they're so difficult to translate.
Nonetheless, I saw Rhea's literal translation of the K-pop, and it is, or K-pop, and it is almost identical to my English.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing I will state, I don't want to like be calling you out, Zinniop, but a few people in Discord were having a particular bone to pick with you because of the way you present Prosian as Proto-Indo-European roots and have somebody do the sound changes. Again, I take responsibility for all problems. It's not on everybody. I should have like seen this coming. It is coming very close to the Hopjam rule. Technically, it's all linguistic skills, but like if it had not been Daniel following you, it might have been much more difficult for the next person. So I think maybe, I don't know exactly how to write a rule for this, but maybe in the future it would be better to have like a lexicon of the Prosian, which I don't know. Zinniop, do you, because watching it, do you just like sort of ad hoc choose Indo-European roots as you're translating?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. So that I think that's how I understand it, and how I understand like why you present it that way. But like, I think you could have made a glossary of like the existing roots, or used a different language. But we'll get to just the general idea.
I think it's difficult to look at this in a way that the torch being completely ruined isn't pretty explicitly my fault, and I guess I'm sorry, but no, I got nothing.
Oh well,
there was also a point in the process where I'm like, I give up, screw this. I'm essentially just writing a new torch.
Yeah, yeah. And no, here's the thing. Mutations are part of it. It's totally it's like a cool thing to have mutations. But like a lot of people prefer it when the mutations are happening gradually and you see a through line happening, whereas the nature
Yes, and they're
of
the result
everything
of
here made
semantic.
it just was a hard break. Um,
Yes.
If
There
we're
is an
going to
egg in
be
birthing.
serious about the fact that it's okay to be bad at things, though, uh, even very good torch documentation should, at some point, lead to somebody just being very bad at it and causing a hard break.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Um, but again, like I I I appreciate you like sort of like accepting things, but like if this is a problem, which I mean it's just a little bit different from what another relay would be like. It's kind of on my side as the relay master. I should have been paying attention to that. Now um, Ria did an excellent job with the K-bop, as you mentioned, and it did actually like at this point we still have eggs. Somehow the sun has reappeared, which we did not like. The sun became a god earlier and then disappeared, and now the sun is back. So that is a mystery solved there.
The sun that's
now,
back is from the date.
Yeah.
Like somehow either year or month turned into the sun.
Yeah. That's another thing is like adding all this extra stuff to the top, like significantly changed things. But yeah. But yeah, I think and I think that that is that works. There's not really much to say except that it was very it was a very hard job to translate from K-bop, which I cannot pronounce. I considered buying hats to pronounce K-bop correctly, but the last time I bought physical objects to pronounce a language, the language ended up not being in the relay. So,
Well, I can just apply the hats every time you say it.
Great idea.
But and then we get to
Oh,
Oeya.
that don't look like Oeya.
Oeya. Did I not spell it right?
No, it's just that the Oeya text is not there. It's the right.
I think
It's
that's
Reyes
left over
previous
from the
text.
previous
Oh,
torch.
okay. I messed up. I messed
slide,
up the text. Okay. Let me get out of the presentation and find that.
I mean, it's just a bunch of phonemes. It's not like it means anything to anyone. So like,
Yeah,
we
it's
could-
fine. But I want to, now that I am seeing that, let me, and let's see, Z-Way should be at the end here. Okay. Just in case
someone
people
said
want
rare
to.
case of the torch mutating live on stream. That's pretty.
I'm just gonna leave it like that, and let's get the. Why is it? Is that? That's not right. What happened? What just happened? Okay. Technical difficulties. I will be back in a moment. I should not have messed with it. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Ah.
That should be the correct text. It's not broken into paragraphs correctly, but that's fine. Dragon Ogre moment, yes.
Dragon Ogre, yeah.
That's just my wallpaper, which I created myself. Which I have phone wallpapers up for sale. I have not put that up for sale because my phone wallpapers don't sell anyway. So we have and this is another cursed language, but I think it's not as big a deal as the other cursed languages because it is actually meant to be naturalistic in a way. It just has some very odd historical development that leads to weird things.
Yeah.
Right?
I definitely I made the documentation specifically so that it wouldn't really function as a cursed language on Schwar's end as much as possible, of course. I feel like the big thing that caused the trouble, like I mentioned in the video, was the polysynthesis, which I would very much argue is not a cursed thing in its own right. But it's a lot more difficult translating into it, which was great for me. But it took me 12 hours to translate this text. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the right way to go. Even if we're going to use like cursed languages in the relay, there's some people who have varying opinions in the comments about including cursed languages, not including cursed languages. Because a lot of the people I have recruited come from the Big Lang server, that is definitely going to be a feature, but like presenting it in as comprehensible a way as possible is reasonable to me. Like with like you don't necessarily need to list all of the many different pronoun forms, right? You can just in the glossary simplify it a little bit. You know?
I feel like reading how well Schwar did, how well Rhea did, translating out of K-pop. Dan, if you could do the thing. And I think there's some merit into saying if the documentation is all right, I think it's it seems to be doable. Rhea might have suffered a little bit, so I can't speak for her, but yeah.
I think there's also something to be said for the subjectivity of cursedness. It's kind of like the Procyon issue where how do you make a rule that would exclude somebody from doing that and not exclude way too much other stuff?
Yeah, that's true. It's a blurry line.
Because I don't think I used a cursed conlang for my part of the relay, but not everybody agrees with me on that.
I have something to say about that because so the way that Agma Schwa defines cursed conlang for the cursed conlang circus and stuff is a lot about intent, right? Are you making a language that is intended to cause pain, right? A lot of the actual features of a cursed conlang. So one of the things that makes this language cursed is radical changes in word order, according to hierarchies. Well, and we'll get to this one down the line. Human 1011's draconic language, which is different from my draconic language, also has radical changes in word order, but it is not intended to be a cursed language. It's just something unconventional that he chose to include in the language. So it's like past Glau, yes, every language can cause pain if you try hard enough. That's true.
Yeah, in terms of just the features, I always like to say that there's a lot of naturalistic languages that have pretty cursed features, like just look at ancient Greek's declensions or just the Old Irish verb in general.
Yeah. Aaron, which, by the way, Aaron, you can join the stream if you want. You can join the Zoom if you want.
Hello, I am here.
Points out someone in the comments was saying like chaining multiple cursed languages may have caused some things. I don't know if that's true actually, because like there was a big break from Prosian to K-bop, but then we have K-bop and then Ria's language, and then is there, and then straight to Oea, but not so much change in that particular chain, right? Just use Old Irish, Logan. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a huge problem. People have suggested spacing out cursed languages, or if I go with 2 rings, doing 1 ring that's all cursed languages. Those are interesting ideas. Like we could compare like a torch that goes through a bunch of naturalistic languages and a bunch of weird languages and see what differences happen. But I don't know.
It's cool.
It's something to think about.
Yeah. Also, I wanna say, sorry, this is, well, it's not entirely unrelated. It might look like a lot more happened between me and Schwar right now, because this is also Raya's English translation, which I just noticed.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, for my slide.
You're good.
For my slide, you also had my initial
important to
English
fix.
translation.
Let me. That's actually important to fix, because I do not want people to get the wrong impression. Let me find.
Yeah, Kat mentioned it looks like the Oya idioms didn't get translated that well, and I looked over at the stream and I was like, wait a second, I didn't write that.
Okay, let me pull up your translation and let's see. Do you have? Okay, you have.
I can send it to you if you need it. I have it on demand.
Do you have it in plain text?
Yeah.
Okay, just send it to me in plain text, because it's broken up across multiple pages. The format is going to get.
Oh yeah, I know, the PDF sucks. Sorry.
From my perspective, I feel like the important thing about including cursed conlangs in a relay is, are the other people in the relay okay with there being cursed conlangs? Like, I don't think I would ever use K-bop in an LCC relay.
Definitely, and I think that's totally fine, because like, also like, are you cool with following a cursed conlang in particular? Which like, we had a conversation, Daniel, while you were translating, and you were talking about, okay, I have to apply all of these Indo-European sound changes, and then I had to, and then you were using a finite state transducer, which I'm not sure what exactly that is, but is okay.
In that moment, I was complaining about the state of things, but I was also actually having fun. So
yeah, it's you were complaining, but you are into it, and you're in that world, so you're kind of fine with it. If Amai Guri was following that language, I think she would have a lot of trouble. If Madeline was following it, I think
would have
Madeline,
cried.
you would cry.
I
but
would
you would
cry.
probably figure out how to program a sound changer.
I mean, like, even as a programmer, because I am a programmer, I still would have cried. Just because all that,
because you don't know the historical linguistics part, right?
No, not at all. It already took me 22.5 hours to do what I had, and what Bib gave me, I think, was pretty straightforward and easy, all things considered. So just imagine the horror.
So if I may be a bit post hoc too, I didn't recognize a lot of the names of the conlangs, and I saw Kaif Bopt, and I assumed they were all cursed conlangs. So I think I may have
I
committed
saw that
myself
in the
to
video.
making Prosian a bit extra cursed just to compensate.
Yeah. So that's something. Well, that's something that we know for the future, that this is not a cursed conlang thing, unless I explicitly make a cursed conlang ring next time. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's a thought. Another thing I will say, from an entertainment standpoint, I do like the moment when somebody is following something
Yeah.
that's particularly difficult, particularly cursed, and they're like, oh no, and they put that in the video. Like Schwar, I think, actually did that, because Schwar followed Ultra French last time.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, surely I won't have like something cursed, and then showed like the thing from the spreadsheet that says following yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Polysynthetic, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yes, Ria's video.
Rhea's video was great. I was going to
Rhea's
comment on
video. Rhea's video was like, oh no, oh, came up, but then she did great with it. So that was that. I think the drama of that is good for the playlist and for the entertainment value, but I think, on the back end, I have to have people opted in to say, okay, yes, I am fine with dealing with this language and getting it out in 3 days.
Yeah.
I do think there's some merit in letting people test their weird languages on people as well, to see how easy it is to translate.
True.
Yeah.
It's also a challenge of how you document the strangeness in your languages so that someone can translate out of them, because it's like a two-way street. Like, like thinking about sound changes, because last year Kat had to ask me a bunch about like the allomorphy, which I had left out thinking it would be obvious from the Pankashku text. But I clearly had to like describe it better. And then I haven't had issues since then in other relays, because like the clearer you present your work, the easier it is just in general, right? So like it's not that some features are intrinsically hard. It's just based on how much you can use them and how obviously they are described for the translator as well.
Okay. So,
and then there's K-bop, where 3/4 of the lexicon is irrelevant nonsense, and that is the part that's difficult.
Yeah, that's right. You have there's like red herrings in there that will cause. Okay. Yeah. The documentation is key, and like thinking about, so if I were participating and I wanted to use Synthlish, right? There are ways I could make not even the documentation, but the torch itself easier or harder. I could include key changes, which would make it real difficult. Hello, how are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm talking to some friends.
And what does it say? Why does it say English and then something else over there?
That's a different language. That's a different language that my friend made.
Oh, what is it called?
It's called Oeaya. And it's a very strange language.
Why is that screen yellow and that screen white?
Because Daddy has monitors from various different places, and they don't match the colors very well. Okay. You guys go up and eat breakfast, okay?
They're so cute.
See, Madeline, I do not have a door on my office, so that happens once in a while.
Oh no, I have 2 locks on mine, like running interference.
Yeah, I don't even have an office, My roommate's in the same room as me right now.
Yeah. So anyway, so what were we talking about? So we were talking about documentation. So I was saying, like, with Simplish, I could include a bunch of key changes and make it real hard for everybody. Or I could just write the torch in C major and it'll be a lot easier. I could also, like, I could give, like, the English sources for everything, or I could give the lexicon in musical notation. I'm not sure which one of those would be easier. It would be an extra step to convert English into musical notation or vice versa, but that's all. Anyway, moving on, let's see. Okay, so Z-Way's torch. This is the real torch for Z-Way.
Yeah.
I was trying to finish this up quickly last night, and I must have messed some things up. And we go to Schwar. And, okay, so Schwar has some cultural translations that have to do with, this is the language of Minecraft villagers. There's still, okay, Schwar, if you're in the, Schwar is not in the chat or anything right now, I think. Yeah, Logan's kid did not show up on the camera, huh? So Schwar, it's still a little different. It's still quite different from what I got, right? We are sort of developing a narrative here. We have some differences in, like, we have some differences in the story. I think some of this may come from, like, word order juggling, making things a little difficult.
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, OAS case marking makes it, like, unambiguous about, like, in terms of within a sentence, but within a paragraph. The child's dialogue did get switched around a little bit. And the sun and moon text got shifted up to the top, which eventually turned into the title of the thing.
Yeah, this is interesting. So at this point, we have the moment of the three suns and the moons.
Yeah.
And then, and this is the thing. If you add anything with numbers or dates or anything like a specific format like that, it's unpredictable where it will go. Here we still have Miles is pretty. There's some differences. Miles is not here. But like there's some mutations happening, just normal mutations. 6 days of 3 sons of the moon. And Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron is in the chat. So Aaron, if you have any insights.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
This is the third time.
You have not, so you keep talking in the chat and not talking in the Zoom.
I didn't know whether I should, to be honest. I didn't feel like I had anything like worth contributing.
I mean, well, so we're on your court.
Now we've got to my bit. I've got loads to say. God. Now, it was only actually during the going through the playlist and watching all the videos and stuff on the actual release day that I realized that very first line was supposed to be a date. I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. And then I saw, I think it was when Bib was translating it into Tag Vermeer, I saw that it was a date. And then I realized, oh wait, that's probably what the date became in my one. And then I decided to just forget the word six halfway through, so that was really useful.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
so
yeah.
the word six did not end up actually in your actual.
No, I literally just forgot to include it when I was translating it. I was thinking in my head, oh yeah, no, I need to include the six here, and then just didn't. But no, I think probably actually the biggest change, like comparing the English Miles had with my English, is the switch referencing in Nasi Bomo. That at the time I was doing it was not something I was as familiar with. So I think maybe now I would have handled that a bit differently. But you see, like, for example, there's a bit there which is stop flying about the grass so that thou sellest some seeds to a band of people. So that was my way of handling one of the ways the switch referencing worked. And it didn't quite translate, like, it's how best I could translate it into English. And then I tried doing that for my language as well. And I think it was really fiddly, and I think I could have done it a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably the main thing with mine.
But this is normal Conlang relay stuff, is mistakes and sort of reinterpretations of difficult grammar is one of the things that causes our mutations, that have this wonderful thing happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Logan, yeah. And then we move on to Logan, which this is another very unconventional language that is technically not a cursed language because it's not meant to be. But
yep.
I mean, you can talk about
it's aggressively non-Indo-European.
Yes, which is that's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you can talk about your translation into English too. So we have 3 days of suns and moons because the 6 is gone accidentally. Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know, how much change was there between these?
I missed the stop. That's something that doesn't just happen in relays. It's a common thing in transmission of texts, that it's really easy to flip polarity, and that has happened several times already, for various reasons. But yeah, I did it again. The negative imperative turned into a positive imperative.
Yeah, I mean, so a long time ago, the first relay I participated in, which actually kind of put me off relays for a while because I was annoyed, had a very difficult negation. It was like a negation disfix, which I would never do in a language, but like it made it very difficult to detect when things were being negated. For people who might be watching who don't know linguistics, a disfix is when instead of like an affix add something, a disfix deletes something from the root or from the stem, which means that I had to be looking for like things that were missing in order to find negation, which there are definitely places in a language I would use disfixes, but I don't think it's something that's very likely to happen with negation. It's just because human languages do tend to work very hard to make negation salient. There's a whole cycle that's been identified that's all about strengthening negatives.
Jesperson's cycle.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
There's
just real quick, there's a reason why I never once considered using discombobulate in the relay. Because it exclusively uses dis fixes for everything, and also it shuffles some words around sometimes, but
yeah. I think most of my follow-on commentary for my leg is not so much about the text itself as about just the process of doing the relay. Because when I constructed my documentation, I was thinking this is like probably the weirdest of the languages that I had available that I could have picked from. And I'm going to try to focus just on exactly what is in the text and try to make it as easily comprehensible as possible. And I think in trying to present something that is so incredibly aggressively not Indo-European in a nicer lexicon format kind of backfired and just made it unnecessarily more confusing. And maybe next time I should just go all in and say, yes, it is just this weird. Sorry if none of the part of speech labels are familiar to you, just deal with it.
Yeah. And then we have, so I think even still, I think that Human 1011, who is not here, did pretty well with your torch.
Yeah, he did. It turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
The YouTube comments so far seem to indicate that people had issues with interpreting my subordinate clauses, but he didn't, which is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, and he is, like a trained linguist, so that makes sense. And familiar with non-Indo-European languages, since most of his content is about Arabic. So,
yeah.
Well,
so this is also aggressively non-Afro-Asiatic. So,
well, now, so, and I mentioned before. So let's actually, I think this, we got 3 days of the suns and the moons. We still have that. Is Ultra French should be in here.
It should be the next slide, so it should be easy to check.
Okay, so actually it's not. So I don't know
it doesn't seem to be that
wrong.
Should I send you the plain text Ultra French or something?
I can. Yeah. Wait. Why do I not have Ultra French here? Okay, I will live editing the slide again.
While you are looking for stuff, I have another bit of process commentary. I was very pleasantly surprised with the amount of time spent on Human 1011's leg on commenting on the stuff that I had sent him. And it made me think, oh, like, I'm getting attention. That's so warm and fuzzy. And oh crap, my video was super boring and I should have talked more about Aaron's stuff. So yeah.
To be fair, I talked enough about my own stuff. You don't worry about that one.
Well, George had sent us a list of all of these points we had to cover, and like, because me and Miles never script anything, so we just kind of had a chat and made sure we covered every point, and then we're like, okay, we're done now. And I probably also could have talked more about what Ilova did, other than the C thing, and I feel bad for making a joke about it now, but I guess we'll get to it in a bit. But the C for about isn't that bad, everyone. It's not
so
that
Eternal,
bad.
do you have that text for me so I can
Do you
quickly
want plain text? Do you want a PDF?
dig in my file? Yeah. Yeah, I just want the plain text where you
Okay.
can send it to me
Let
on
me
Discord
grab
or
that
whatever.
from the tech document real quick.
Yeah. By the way, one change that I will ask next time is I'm going to ask you guys to give me a standardized format in your file names so that I already have your names in the file name and I don't have to search through a million torch conlang relay torch translation stuff to find whose this actually is. Let's see.
Give me just a second. I need to strip out some formatting characters.
Yeah. Ultra French got anti-PIE'd. Yeah, there's not. Okay, Josh the noob. The disfix stuff is about something in a language that is not here. Completely different thing. Yeah.
Okay, here's the I DM'd it to you on Discord, the Ultra French text. And I think you also want my translation from Ultra French to English.
Yeah, that would be best. That's what I usually put in there.
Eternal, if you have Agmas as well, because that's also missing from the slides, just in the
I don't.
Oh, okay. Figured I'd ask.
No, I don't.
Okay, this formatting is very weird, but we can deal with that.
If you're talking about the spaces around the punctuation, that's a French thing.
Okay, I need to do.
And it seems like Ultra French should have several spaces around each punctuation.
Where is?
Oh yeah, in case anyone didn't know, in French you put a space before any punctuation mark that isn't a full stop or a comma for some reason.
Okay, that's weird.
I formatted it as a code block. There is an icon in the top right they should be able to click on to copy it.
Okay, hold on. English.
Ultra French also uses a lot of combining characters, so if that messes things up, I wouldn't be surprised. Because Unicode has no V acute.
I apologize for it being all one paragraph, but just the like the formatting didn't work right. So yeah, I mean, so you can talk a little bit about your torch. I think it's still 3 days of sun and moon, so we've lost the plural of suns and moons.
We lost the plural. That was, I believe that was on purpose, because in Ultra French it would be weird to talk about multiple suns and moons. So it's just one. The main thing that confused me a bit was all of the noun classes in Draconic, because in the text that I received, at least, it felt like there were a lot of pronouns and not a lot of reference that those pronouns could refer to. So it was just he or they or you, and I'm like, okay, let me find the nearest magical noun, if the pronoun it has magical gender, that it could possibly refer to. And I'm pretty sure I messed up some of the genders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, there was this commutative construction that you also mentioned that I completely failed to untangle, basically. So I just left it as a commutative.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we still have it's hard for me to parse. I'll have to fix this later. But we still have, instead of magic bag, we have magic is this where the
It is still a bag, but it's a small bag. That's what I translated it as, and it's a medicine bag at some point.
We still have libraries talking.
Yeah,
which did not make it to
I
the
was
final
very
torch.
confused
But
about that.
I don't know why libraries can talk.
Yeah, at some point it was librarian, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think in Schwar's
I have a feeling that might have changed in my
librarian. Which when Schwar is talking about a librarian, I'm picturing actually a Minecraft villager librarian. So
yeah, is that the one that did Schwar add the librarian?
I think Schwar did add the librarian. Let me see. So let's jump back to Schwar's torch.
Miles made it just a library for sure.
I don't see a librarian in Z-Way's torch.
No, I don't think
there is.
Yeah, I didn't have
Schwar
one.
added a librarian.
There's the library told the child.
Oh. Library is not in my dictionary, so
and then
I don't know Schwar's. I don't know what he added.
At the very end, there's also the librarian said. So we've both library and librarian in this text.
Oh,
okay, and
it was the mentor. I can only assume that's a cultural translation that Schwar made because villager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because mentor, I don't think mentor would necessarily make sense in Minecraft villagers because they don't have like hierarchies or anything. But
Not
like
really.
librarian probably fits. Either the librarian or the priest would probably be a fill-in for that or something.
Yeah.
Let's jump back to. But now we still have libraries talking to children. Was the library in a magical gender? Like, was it intended to be a magic library?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we jump to Eloivar. 3, the day of the sun and moon. So
yeah,
I think this is
my numbers confused her for some reason, because in Old French cardinal numbers work just like adjectives. They're placed after the noun. Maybe I didn't write that down, that they function like adjectives.
Okay.
But she got confused about the numbers very clearly because she didn't know what to do with them, because she has like 3 the day when it's just 3 days.
Okay, so this time did you wrote up a torch document with grammar notes? Because I know last time you just sent the entire Ultra French grammar.
No, I did the same thing as last year, which is why I have a short 5-page document that has the torch and a few things to watch out for, and then there's the full 100-page reference grammar with dictionary.
Okay, yeah.
I also have an online dictionary, which is much easier to use than the one in the reference grammar.
Yeah, that's handy. Yeah. So just for context, my understanding is that Ultra French grammar is too interconnected for Eternal to like effectively create a torch document.
Yeah.
That will be a simplification, right? So we have, I don't know, like we have bags of medicine, and we have magic to repair the torn pouch.
I mean, that was pretty much how I wrote it, so
yeah. I think it's pretty good. I think we are starting to see the beginnings of what would become the eclipse now. Because we have disconnected sun and moon from numbers, so it doesn't look like a weird date format anymore. It's like the day of the sun and the moon. And I think so. Jake, you were after Eloivar?
Yep.
I
feel like
it's the eclipse.
Compared to other people, especially the people right before me, I think I was more creative with how I translated into my own language. But this one is my this is the translation of the gesto. Because
Uh-huh.
for other people's, you've got the translation of the previous torch.
Yeah, not everybody sent me all. I tried to get the one that was the translation of your own torch, but I think not everybody gave me two translations. Or maybe I messed up making the PowerPoint. That's clearly that has happened.
If I can interrupt for a second, mine was also the translation of the previous one, so you might want to switch that around. I know I sent you both.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like did half of it like weeks ago, and then I like finished up the other half like last night. So it's kind of all over the place. I'm sorry. If I could get, if you can all put like, I think Z-Way, you have a link to your torch on your website.
Yeah.
If everybody, if people can find a way to like put a PDF of your documents up and in your video descriptions, that would probably be nice for people who are following along with the playlist still. Now that it's revealed.
Put the torch we sent you in the description or something, you mean?
Yeah. Put the torch and the translation document in the description somewhere as a link so that people can like click if they want to. Now, okay. So, yeah, well, let's talk about your creativity, Jake. So the just go ahead, yeah.
I mean, I realized like one of the first things was like, so the word that Iloiva uses for because in previous ones it's like a food store. Like I realize store is like, first of all, like it means a different thing to you than to me, most likely. Because I think of a collection of something first, whereas what I would call a shop, right? And I needed to I actually didn't check how exactly I described it in my translation. I think I used store. Anyway, the original word was market, and I think that changed a lot. But I wanted the metaphor because, like, the idea was that like one thing is low and the other one is full, which was what came out of the "you become your own ear" metaphor, right?
Yeah.
Then the other thing was that like before it was just grass, but it didn't, like I wanted the story to make sense. Like the idea that this could be a text that would actually be said by someone and not just like a scrambled mess of like random words.
Yeah.
Which you get
yeah,
like
one thing is that is totally like a thing that you're supposed to do is try to make some kind of sense out of it, right? Because otherwise, like we're just translating each other's gibberish, and it becomes like it becomes like a giant pile of.
I don't think everyone got that memo or was necessarily on the same page as far as intentional changes to make things make sense. I think some, and this is something I've experienced with every relay I've done. Some people want to try to translate as closely as they can, which often just results in a literal string of clauses or phrases, and some people want to make sense of it. And I think both approaches can make sense, but it kind of helps to be on the same page there.
Yeah. And I think that there's sort of a middle ground between like just being totally faithful and like what what was done with Gitsa, which is like totally changing the genre of the document and stuff. Even though like the document that was produced is beautiful, I'm not sure if it's like it kind of the metadata that was added kind of took over the torch and became super important. So I don't know. It's part of this, but I think Jake, you are solidly in that middle ground where like you are keeping the context of this appears to be a story, but still trying to make something that is like readable and makes some kind of sense.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of relays, so I'm used to this. Like, not like I feel quite comfortable like making these changes, and I don't know if everyone who watches it will necessarily understand it. But like we're all coming at this with different backgrounds. And like I didn't take out everything that didn't make sense. Like I left in I'll sit alone with my soul. It's like and but there was one line that was like I think the way that I had understood it was I have my original translation up here somewhere. It was I wish for the vine to that thing of the other. And I think I left it out or no. I think I think no, it turned into as that thing of the other was the thing that the you were, which was the person who was obliged to fly. Like I ended up having to like contextualize who the people in the story were based on like just the knowledge that there was someone flying to meadows to sell grain and a child. So I think that's how that ended up going. Yeah. Like I definitely read more into the story than maybe was there to begin with. But then like when you have the world wise person says to the child, like you can tell that it's like a dialogue.
Do I actually? I might have Agmashwa's stuff. Yeah, that's I. Thank you. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna make sure that I have. I'm gonna do another live editing here and see if I have. I don't have the text in here. Mail. Yeah. Sorry. You guys can continue talking. I'm just trying to get the thing that I
have like a page of notes about what happened between the Kesto and the Arojun. If that's interesting for people.
Okay.
Is Agma gonna join us or?
I'm assuming so. He's in chat right now. He just woke up apparently.
Okay, yeah. Send me the link, Agmashwa. Agmashwa, I need the link. And that's so that I can get that because for some reason I am not finding it. So I just want to like because yeah, if Jake is going to talk about okay, I have the doc. Okay, so okay, so this is a Google Doc. keep the text. Eclipse. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Okay. Apologies for not being prepared. Exactly. And then... And I go...
While George is busy with other stuff, Jake, I just wanted to say your line about "I will sit here with my salt" just makes me think of some poor Ukrainian wife in like 1550 being annoyed at her husband and like, "Oh yeah, there are guests coming over soon, but sure, just go off with the grain and I'll just sit here with the salt."
That really reminds me of a Bela Tarr film, The Horse of Turin, which is like 5 hours of like the whole thing isn't just this, but there is a significant chunk of it, which is just like hours of watching a couple eating potatoes dipped in salt.
Yeah.
While like
Yeah.
the winds of the revolution are coming, and you just hear the wind flying outside. It's very bleak.
Okay.
And
I do not.
I
do not
watched it with
have
my
the
mum and dad, and they've never let me down for making them watch it with them.
Okay. Now, so I have Agma Schwa's text now, and it is getting close to what I got. Sorry, I don't have the. I can't find the auto-tune in that document. Maybe it's in a separate Torch document that I need to find somewhere. But yeah, this
So
this
like, sorry, I think I've cut you off.
No, you go ahead and talk. You said you had some notes about
I
what
have
happened
notes.
exactly.
Because I felt very honored that Agma like had so much of like my document in his video, because I again think I did a very, very bad job at actually explaining anything about the language or Eloivas, because I was really like I felt really bad that like we took half an hour last time talking about it. And so we were just like, we're gonna do it as fast as possible this time and like speed run the whole process. So like there was one thing that like Crystal has like some auto segmental tone stuff going on. And I think that there might have been a issue where if you tried to search for a suffix with a high tone on it that had floated across from a previous syllable, it didn't show up in the find or something. Or
Yeah.
or maybe it wasn't recognizably the same suffix. And so every third person perfect in the text that took a high tone ended up being translated as a copula. Rather
Speak of the devil. Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, it's floating toes. That's definitely something that can happen. That's definitely. I remember. Oh yeah, so the Ognos that's the tone spreading can definitely do something like that. It's always interesting. Like if you had more of an isolating language, it's relatively easy. But then when you have things like that, like stem changes and affix changes, it can be more difficult. And Ren had difficulty because I actually did not correctly present the what was it, the plural nominative suffix in my documentation, and I just didn't realize that I hadn't done that. And it is a suffix that also changes with vowel harmony, so that might be part of why I messed it up. But yeah.
I also did the thing like in Thai where the pronouns aren't strictly marked for plurality.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that the issue with the inclusive exclusive was like the fourth person thing. But no, it
Yeah.
was really that like every case of I was synonymous with the exclusive we.
Yeah.
Which and then there was one line very early on, the becoming sages one, where I had accidentally got the agreement wrong between the subject pronoun that was left in specifically to mark that I want to be like you, and then it was I want to like you, and then it was that you want to be like the thing, which makes no sense whatsoever. And to be honest, if Agma had been like, "Oh, can you check like your se endings?" then I probably would have spotted that one as well.
Yeah.
If I was checking all the ends of my verbs. So I think like part of it was translation error. There was one there was one cluster that I can only think changed between like in pasting my text into a new document, it had auto-corrected something because it's
Yeah.
nta everywhere in my translation document, and then it becomes nta, which isn't in my lexicon, but it came up as an example sentence as to dry. And so that's where the dry for a while came from rather than rest, because, which doesn't make any sense. Although I guess like after this stream, it kind of does.
Somebody's saying that Thai pronouns are difficult to translate, which I don't think what you're talking about. You're talking about a specific feature that occurs in Thai, but it's not. It's not like you have the open class pronouns like Thai does.
Well,
You
it,
just
it, it
have
is
like
arguable whether or not Thai has pronouns or if it's more like
uh-huh.
Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're just talking about like
I
number.
mean
By the
specifically
way,
the
nga
lack of
nga is
explicit
here now.
plurality.
Yeah. Yeah, nga
Because
is
there's
here
no.
now. So if you,
Oh,
okay, sorry. Yeah. So if Agmashwa nga, if you want to talk about your part of it, your
Yes,
side of the
indeed.
story.
Yeah, so I don't know if you got the document. I'm not looking at the live stream screen anymore. But I don't know if you got my text, but you got it now. Again.
I got the English part at least.
Oh, okay. I think everything should be on the Google Doc. I don't know if you can get that, but yeah, yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I feel like my biggest challenges with like translating everything was kind of just trying to figure out what those like two versions of like what were they called, like directional or something on there were.
yeah,
Yeah, there were two
directional
like
and there was a like unmarked accusative as well.
yeah, exactly. I think I kind of figured out okay, like what was intended to be accusative in the situation, but but there were just a few of like the directions I definitely got some of them wrong at first, and I like caught myself and kind of went back and and redid it right before I finished because I was like, oh wait, I just got like this like directional case backwards from what it's like originally intended to mean. Also, like the inclusivity was a big challenge for me because I didn't necessarily know how to perceive like the exclusive in the specific context of the text. So I don't know if I like altered that from what its original meaning was, or if that stayed the same. But that was a big one.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there was one case where I got the marking on the wrong, which I'm worried like threw you off because uh, it shouldn't have been as confusing as I think that made it, and then it's kind of set the stage because there's no like plural marking anywhere other than in the sense that the inclusive means both the speaker and listener are included.
I see. I see.
And
Yeah.
so the exclusive is the same as I for the entirety of the text, and the
Yeah.
inclusive, yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Okay. Good times. I probably made some mistakes in my text too. We'll find out as it goes to Space Dirt section.
Yeah, with the time crunch, everybody's going to make some mistakes, and that's kind of a part of the process.
Exactly. That's like part of the fun of it. It's like, oh, there's that thing. The text is now corrupted again.
Yeah.
Oh, and the child performing, the child performing stays on across the text, but play is the first definition in the lexicon. But because the sacrifice is performed earlier, I assume you went with the perform meaning again, which made the subsequent translation slightly more sinister.
I guess, that's pretty good.
We have lost the bag along the way, and we just have medicine. And then we have let's actually move on. Let's talk about Space Dirt. I don't know if there's that much to talk about Space Dirt's torch because it is actually pretty faithful. If you have any like particular things that you see in Space Dirt's torch where something you think he got something messed up, then that makes sense.
Well, here, let me see what's on the screen right now so I can get a better idea of what was going on. Oh God, yeah. Okay, so he said wheat is dying. The box of food is dry. Okay, so like the box of food that was originally meant to be like a storage container. I don't know if Space Dirt used I don't know if Space Dirt's here right now. Is Space Dirt here?
You had food store here, but
yeah, okay. like the food store, because food store it's essentially the same word as box of food. So if Space Dirt used like the online AutoGen dictionary instead of the word list for that particular word, that might have happened or something because like articles and things like that. So, and AutoGen, like this text is full of various articles and things like that. So perhaps like subtle little morphemic differences might have happened there. But yeah, so box of food and food store end up looking really similar. Your brain is full. That's right. Let's see. We are choosing to come Sears. Yep. You are selling grain. You need to go to a wheat field. I see. So a lot of these in the AutoGen iteration of the text, I gave them continuous markers. Like ja is like the continuous marker in an AutoGen clause, and I think a lot of that turned a lot of these clauses into like looking more like a progressive or continuous form, which makes sense. It makes sense, but it's not exactly the same as what I got from Jake, because it was, I think, I just interpreted a lot of the sentences as not having any like defined beginning, middle, or end, which usually when that happens in AutoGen, you give it the continuous ending.
That is interesting. For some reason, when I copied the English, the title eclipse is still there. I see that sage became seer, which is, I think, just a cultural translation, probably. And but otherwise, it's pretty faithful. And then my final one is meant to be faithful. So one thing I got confused about with Kadetch, I don't know exactly why this happened, but like we are choosing to become Caesars seers became the seers chose it to be so. I think I just got confused as to what the agent was in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and so that got messed up. But I think I was, it was, I didn't, I tried to make it, I didn't really do that much to try to make it make sense. I tried to be sort of faithful just to get my reaction to, like, what exactly did this text turn into. And
yeah,
the moon that eats, I don't know where that came from exactly. Where is that?
Where does it say that?
The moon that
I don't
eats. That's
know.
rather ominous.
Would that be eclipse?
No, it's at the second paragraph on the bottom of the second paragraph.
The moon that eats the sea. It's before the sea of fleas, Nate. You should be able to find that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's after the eclipse.
After the eclipse. So I think he must have had some, like, I think he had some idiom of the moon eating.
Or is it the
that means
sacrifice
eclipse.
expression?
Maybe the one
that was different. That was different from this word at the beginning. That was that I saw in the glossary was eclipse, and I just translated that literally. But it is like very poetic, isn't it? A very poetic way to refer to an eclipse.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and I think I messed up, like, putting sentences together a little bit, but yeah, this is what I got after I translated out of Kadech, which, by the way, the Kadech documentation, I like Kadech, because I mean it's a seems like a pretty conventional naturalistic language, but I liked in the document, like, all of the forms are presented, and I can kind of see how, like, these suffixes are derived from something historically and got mutated in different ways by different roots. So it's you know, it's was well presented in the torch, and you know, interesting to look at. I don't know why I have this in my pocket. I am distractible. But yeah, so that was the whole process. Let me see if I can let me stop the screen share, and I can bring you guys over to here. And people will see, but, like, gosh, let me actually make this okay. So people can see all of us here, and I can turn this off if I could figure out how to do it. Okay, so what do we think? How are people doing with this? Was this an interesting relay?
I had fun.
Yeah,
very good
fun.
relay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there were a few things that I will probably change. That there will be a few things that I will probably change in the future. In terms of, like, different rules that I will apply, different things about, like, the final deadline, and I'll be thinking about, like, what is the place of cursed conlangs in this relay, and, like, not so much just about is it a cursed conlang, because, as I said, it's kind of hard to define that in a way that, like, makes sense in the relay, because of, like, how that is defined currently. but like if your conlang has features that specifically will make it more difficult than a conventional language to translate, like maybe you guys need to talk to me about that, and I need to make sure that the next person is okay with dealing with that. We can talk about ways that it can be presented in the torch that will make it as easy as make it reasonably easy without giving everything away, obviously. But yeah, that's just sort of thing. But thank you all for participating.
Thank you for having me, and I think I could probably speak for pretty much everyone in that regard. It's been a really, really great experience being a part of it, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for organizing.
Awesome relay yet again. Very good times. Very good times.
Yes, yes.
I chose an easier language this time than last year. So see what I choose next time.
Yeah.
Also, would we say that this one produced a creation myth, since all relays must eventually produce creation myths?
Well, at some point it was one, but I think it stopped being one towards the end.
It just kind of became like the description of someone reacting to like a solar eclipse, but by the end, like everything away naked.
I mean, I don't think it's specifically. I don't think it's a creation myth. I think it's some kind of legend or myth. Yeah. Sorry, go on. Too many people
the part
on this
with
Zoom.
Abraham was definitely a myth of some sort, but not exactly a creation myth. I mean, I don't know. Arguably, it's a starting myth. It's like a call to action, but I don't know if that's just the mono myth.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like do this when solar eclipse happens. Go find seer, make the seer run away naked. There you go.
Okay, hold on. Rhea
the seer in my text was chased. They didn't run away. They were chased away. But the impersonal got changed.
See that's a good moment in the translation then. Oh my god.
Hello, Rhea.
I'm here in Perth's Central Business District.
Wow.
8 PM on a Friday night.
Doxed.
So
I'm coming to you live from the streets of Perth CBD. What's happening? What's going on? You're just wrapping up, I feel.
Yeah, we're kind of wrapping up, but you said you kind of wanted to talk about your torch. I think I can stay a few extra minutes and get into that, so we can jump that up and
wonderful.
hopefully...
I'll just sit over here in this garden for a second until I can cross the road.
Yeah. So let's see. Where did
just because between me and Dan, there was some things that changed because of just the nature of K-pop, and then between me and Zoe, things changed because of the nature of Plumlang, and so they sort of it's a little bit of, I think it's a little bit obscured in the video itself. So I thought it might be just jaywalking.
Yeah.
So we can see that the main thing, the first thing that changed was cover your churn. I saw in the list of the list of possible words that the first word in K-pop, obviously there's like 8 different things it could mean, and churn was one of them. But I just didn't think that churn was a noun. Like that just didn't cross. That just fully didn't cross my mind, and I knew it had to be a noun, and so it turned into vices. I think actually the word was Vince in the lexicon. It was like either churn or Vince, but I just assumed that it could be translated as vice, and that's sort of how it turned from a command to cover up your butter churn to like cover your vices or cover your sins or like repent, and that sort of gained this element of sin from me not realizing that churn was a noun.
Are we talking about Vince, like the guy who made Breaking Bad?
Exactly. Yes, like the guy who made Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan. But again, there was a lot of words in K-pop that were a little bit inscrutable to me, and so that was that whole leg.
I enjoy the fact that there are multiple instances in this relay of meanings changing because of miscommunication in English.
Exactly. Like some of it is because of, the nature of, like, I think there are a few words in there between K-pop and Plum language change just because of, the ambiguous words in K-pop. But literally some of them are just, I didn't realize churn was a noun. Like some of them are just pure, like, misunderstanding even without the conlang in place, just like what happened in an organic game of telephone. And then Plumlang, for a lot of my little like words that I made, like I had the word camel. Well, how do I translate camel? In Plumlang, they're like a space-dwelling race that speak this language. So what do I even use for camel? And I came up with steed. But what do I use to make the word steed? And I turned it into the noun, like the root for the verb bring, which was then nominalized with an agentive suffix to mean like the bringer of something, and like the thing that brings. And that ended up causing a whole problem because the way I couldn't work out what a bringer was.
I was like, a bringer of rejuvenation? I was like, what is this? So I just interpreted it as a gift. I don't know.
Yeah, there was one bit where it was like the bringer of rejuvenation.
Yeah.
And of course, like, because of all this background info about Plumlang that I couldn't fit into the video, I ended up translating, bringer of rejuvenation was just a steed with food. And then that transformed into like a gift or something, whatever's the way I had it as.
It was a gift, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in the document that like Ray and I talked about afterward, of like a lot of interesting rephrasing, and I say that very positively. That like in the lexicon like list just said apparel, for example. So I just interpreted it as clothes, but it was actually like the saddle on the horse, right?
Yeah, like the intention behind that,
the
like
camel,
it was
sorry.
tack. Yeah, on the camel, it was tack. I come from
tack.
a horsey family, so it was like tack, and the like what word I guess could be used to refer to tack? It would be apparel. Like the idea was a word that refers to anything that goes on an organism for the purpose of a job or a task. And so apparel, I guess, was the closest approximation to that. My favorite instance of this rephrasing was actually with the passage of time, because I communicated time passing as we are moving towards the time at which point 6 months will have passed. So instead of yeah, like the way that I translated 6 months have passed, like 6 months and 3 days later or whatever it was, I translated as we are now moving away from the point at which we are 6 months and 3 moons, or 6 moons and 3 suns.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of, I think that was the hardest part from my perspective. That was the most obtuse thing in there, was just we are moving away from this time, or we're moving towards that time, as a way to sort of orient the audience temporally.
Oh, and all that stuff about months and days. My understanding of that line was there are literally 6 moons in the sky right now.
Yeah. And I saw that and I was like, well, obviously that's a metaphor for 6 months.
I can see that for sure.
It was just again, there's so many layers of that surface misinterpretation. Yeah, that's what I got to see.
Yeah, that's crazy. But you did really well with a very difficult language, it seems like, because it's like, especially since a lot of the cursedness of K-pop is seems to be ambiguity, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot
I'm
of
very proud of my effort with
great, by the way.
It was what?
The animated hats.
I'm really glad that they were well received.
Much less muscularly taxing that way.
Yeah. I just didn't have a pangolin on hand.
Oh, classic mistake.
And then right after that, I finished my animated hats. And I'm like, oh my, this actually is, from my perspective, more taxing than doing it by hand.
Well, it does take some work to time that. But anyway, I really should be going. It's been fun talking to y'all, and everybody. There will be another one next year. Maybe if I can get things, if I can actually like set deadlines properly, it will come out in August rather than October. I did slightly better this time. Hello. Very soon. Daddy's wrapping up. Okay, so they want to go, so I probably need to go. But thank you all for being on, and until next year, it's gonna be great. We're probably gonna change a few things, but yeah, it's good.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
And in the meantime, anybody who has not run Conlang relays before and would like to start, I do have a video on that, sort of reflecting on my experience and giving some tips.
Daddy,
yes.
What is that language over there?
It's called Plumlang. It's a very strange language. Okay. And
that's why you have to start them young, George. Next fluent Plumlang speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, to everybody watching, thank you for watching. And I'm going to say happy conlanging.